In a high windswept valley, nestled between towering snow-capped peaks, lay the remote village of Khazar. It was a beautiful but harsh place. The air was thin, and life was a daily challenge against the cold and the rocky terrain. The people of Khazar were herders of sturdy mountain goats and farmers who had, over generations, carved intricate terraces into the slopes for their barley and potatoes. Survival here depended on constant communal effort. Everyone, even the children, understood this. Everyone except Raghav. At 18, Raghav was strong and healthy, but he was known throughout Khazar as Raghav the Dreamer, a polite term for his profound laziness. While his friends, like his neighbor Ravi, were up before dawn to guide the herds to high pastures or to check the glacial irrigation channels, Raghav remained buried under his heavy wool blankets. When his mother, her hands cracked from the cold, asked him to fetch water from the community well, he would groan, "The well isn't going anywhere, I'll go later." When his father asked him to help mend the stone walls of their terrace, a vital task to prevent landslides, he would find an excuse and vanish, spending his time lying on a patch of sun-warmed grass, dreaming of an easy life in the distant capital. A life he imagined required no effort at all. His parents, growing older, worried constantly. "Raghav," his father would say, his voice rough from the thin air, "you are a man now. Life in these mountains does not reward laziness. A weak wall or an empty water skin can mean disaster." But Raghav only smiled his easy smile. "Why work so hard, father? The sun rises and sets. The goats find their own grass. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not wasted in sweat and stone." It didn't seem like a big problem. The family's small terrace and herd gave just enough, and his parents, despite their words, still took care of his needs. But slowly, his laziness began to carve away at his future. One day, the village elder announced a rare opportunity, a government scholarship exam. The winner would get to study at the best college in the capital. For a youth from Khazar, this was the only way out, the only path to a different life. The village buzzed with excitement. Ravi and Raghav's other friends formed study groups, poring over books by candlelight, day and night. Raghav scoffed. "I'm naturally smart," he told them, tossing a stone into the air. "I'll look at the books the night before." The night before, he glanced at a page, yawned, and fell asleep. When the exam day came, he stared blankly. The questions about mathematics, history, and science were impossible. He couldn't answer even a quarter of them. His dream of the capital, the one he thought he'd get just by wanting it, vanished. Ravi, who had studied relentlessly, won the scholarship. Still, Raghav didn't change. He told himself, college is not everything. The capital is probably too crowded and noisy. Something else will come my way. The real test of his laziness came that summer. The previous winter had been unusually mild, with very little snow on the peaks. Now, the glacial streams that fed the village's intricate network of irrigation channels were slowing to a trickle. The lifeblood of Khazar was drying up. The village elder called an urgent meeting. "The streams are weak," he announced, his voice grave. "We must repair every channel, deepen the community well, and reinforce every terrace wall to catch what little rain might come. Every hand is needed." A quiet panic set in. Every family began working from dawn until dusk. But Raghav, as usual, wasted his time. He laughed at his friends as they hauled rocks and dug out silt from the channels, sweating under the high-altitude sun. "Why work so hard?" he called out from his shady spot. "You're all panicking. The heavy snows will come next winter and everything will be fine." But the streams did not grow. Days turned into agonizing weeks. The sun beat down, and Kasar, for the first time in memory, faced a severe drought. The barley shoots turned yellow and withered. The goats grew thin, their milk drying up. Food became scarce. Families who had worked hard to prepare, who had meticulously maintained their channels and rationed their stores, managed to survive. They had dried meat and small reserves of barley. But Raghav's family had little. His aging parents had done what they could, but they hadn't had his strong back and young energy. The channel leading to their terrace was clogged, and their small plot had been one of the first to die. One night, his mother served a small bowl of thin barley soup, barely covering the bottom. Raghav, his stomach aching, shouted, "Is this all? I'm starving!" His mother, her face etched with an exhaustion that went beyond her years, finally broke. "Yes, this is all," she whispered, tears freezing on her cheeks. "This is all we have left. If you had helped your father reinforce the channel to our terrace, we might have saved half our crop. If you had helped me store and dry food, we wouldn't be suffering like this." For the first time, Raghav felt the true, physical weight of his laziness. His body ached from hunger, but worse, his heart ached with a suffocating guilt. His parents were growing older, weaker, because of him. The next morning, driven by desperation, he went to Ravi's house, hoping to beg for some food. He saw through the window that Ravi's family was also eating a simple meal, but they had a small pile of dried potatoes. Ravi's father, a stern man, met him at the door. "Raghav," he said, his voice quiet but firm. "This is not the time to beg. Every family is struggling. We have only enough for our own because we worked to prepare. You had the same thin air to breathe and the same hard ground to work. You chose to waste the daylight. Now you must face the night." These words hurt more than the hunger. Raghav finally understood. Laziness wasn't an easy life. It was a debt. And now, the bill had come due. And the price was far more painful than hard work. That night, lying awake on an empty stomach, Raghav thought about his life. He remembered the scholarship he'd lost, the broken terrace wall, the dry irrigation channel. Laziness had stolen his future, his respect, and now, even his family's food. He asked himself, "Do I want to live like this forever? Dependent, hungry, and ashamed? Or do I want to change?" The next morning, long before the first hint of sun touched the peaks, Raghav did something he had never done. He woke up. His limbs felt heavy and unfamiliar. He walked to the community well, his hands soft and uncalloused, and began to pull the heavy frozen rope, pot by pot. He returned with 2 full water skins. His parents looked at him, their eyes wide with disbelief. Then, without waiting to be told, he picked up his father's heaviest tools and went to the family's crumbling terrace wall. He began to dig and lift. His body, unused to labor, screamed in protest. His back ached. His soft hands blistered and bled within the first hour. But with every rock he heaved into place, with every drop of sweat that stung his eyes, he felt lighter, freer, as if a heavy weight was lifting from his heart. Day by day he worked. He rebuilt the wall. He cleared their channel. He helped his neighbors. His friends noticed. One afternoon, as he was struggling to clear a particularly stubborn, silt-clogged channel, Ravi appeared. He watched for a moment, then sighed. "You're digging on the wrong side, idiot. You'll make it collapse. Here, let me show you." It was a small gesture, but it meant everything. Raghav had been allowed back. When the late summer rains finally, mercifully came, Raghav's family managed to save a small but vital part of their crop, all because his repairs had channeled the precious water to their terrace. His parents smiled proudly, their faces still thin, but their eyes bright. "This," his father said, placing a hand on Raghav's shoulder, "is the son we always hoped for." The drought had been a terrifying teacher, but it taught Raghav the most important lesson of his life. Laziness steals chances, while hard work creates them. One evening, years later, sitting with his younger cousins under the same patch of sky where he once wasted hours, Raghav told them his story. "I lost many chances because of my laziness," he said, his voice strong. "I wasted my education, my respect, and almost my family's survival. But I have learned something. Hard work is like this mountain. It looks impossible from the bottom, and the climb hurts. But the view from the top is worth everything. Don't repeat my mistake. The earlier you wake up to life, the brighter your future becomes." His cousins listened, their young faces full of respect. From then on, whenever Raghav felt the old, familiar desire to be idle, he would look at the scars on his hands. He would remember the gnawing hunger, the shame in his mother's eyes, and the regret he once felt. That memory kept him moving, kept him working, and slowly, it turned him into a man of strength, dignity, and a leader in Kasar. Moral: laziness offers temporary comfort, but quietly steals your future, respect, and opportunities. Hard work may feel difficult at first, but its rewards, strength, dignity, and success are permanent. Choose to do the work. Your future self will thank you.